Oh God, sorry, warning, Ben DiNucci doing calf rolls may turn you on. This week in the XFL, the Oscar for Best Defense of a Punter goes to Renegades head coach Bob Stoops.
He's gonna body slam the punter? The punter? Well, ask him. That's terrible. You can't let him do that to a punter.
Stoops may need a refresher on what a body slam is because this looks more like a roll in the hay. It is XFL Week 7, and not only did we have the biggest upset of the season as the Guardians toppled the almighty Defenders, it was hands down the best XFL game of the season. Recapping the best and worst plays, players, moments, and all of the other things from the XFL. Please subscribe here if you're already subscribed, like this video, share it, and damn it, The Rock still doesn't know who I am, so let's make it happen. Let's start with the hottest team, the Seattle Dragons, beating the Renegades. Here's a fun one, best official assist. This XFL official with the assist. The Sea Dragons win 5 straight and knock off the Renegades, who at one point this season had it made. Retrieved for a bounty, never more to go astray. The DiNucci will have his revenge today. Ben DiNucci is the leading passer in the XFL, and he's the 10th leading rusher. If Seattle could deploy a consistent rushing attack, they could be one of the most complete teams in the league. Maybe the addition of Mr. Colorado himself, Philip Lindsay, will help that next week. But just like the orange and green of their uniforms, making it look like Christmas got food poisoning, I don't feel good about their championship viability yet. We did have a best Ben DiNucci. Look at DiNucci holstering his 6 shooters after firing a touchdown pass to a spinning Josh Gordon. The run game is one thing for the Dragons. The other, it's the two sides of DiNucci. Late in the third quarter, with the chance to just put this game away, the Nooch on the run drops a perfect sideline pass to Blake Jackson. This is as NFL caliber an NFL caliber throw can be. It's what makes you amore a DiNucci. And just 2 plays later, DiNucci does this into the end zone for a terrible red zone pick, which makes you infuriated with a DiNucci. In a true Italian fashion, DiNucci is giving. He is warm. He is lovable, full of spice like the last season of White Lotus set in Sicily. And then it's like once a game he reminds you of, fucking Mussolini. That's right, there's a dark side to this fucking Italian story. But it was Will Hill on the pick there. My worst spoiler? Renegades quarterback Drew Plitt giving away the ending of The Departed.
Rat, we gotta go.
Now, I don't want to give Plitt my worst quarterback of the week award, but he was not effective. His one pick was pretty bad. A deep ball where it looks like he threw to the wrong hash, leading the ball right to Dragons defender Quinten Cole. Just 213 yards in that pick for Plitt. Running back Davion Smith had a nice game with 61 rushing yards and a couple TDs for the Renegades, but Arlington falls to 3-4. Luckily, the XFL South is wide open and they sit comfortably in second place. Then we had the Brahmas versus Vipers. The Vipers now have 2 wins to their name, but more importantly, earn my Benchwarmer Brew Bench Player of the Week. After dealing quarterback Luis Perez to the Renegades, the Vipers started quarterback Jalen McClendon. The former Baylor QB came in and threw a quick pass to Sean Price, who stiff arms his way into the end zone. Folks, I haven't seen a stiff price like that since the last time I was at the pump. Am I right? Worst use of unsafe sex? The Vipers' Matthew Sexton leading the day in yards after being harder to tackle than an unsheathed lube dick. Best turning a defender into a piece of track equipment? Vipers running back Rod Smith hurdling the Brahmas like he's playing on easy mode. The Vipers scored just 1 second half touchdown in this game, but that's all that was needed to give them the victory. A very nice debut for McClendon, who had 0 picks, 2 touchdown passes, and averaged 8.5 yards per pass on his way to 264 through the air against a very underrated Brahmas defense. Worst squandering of a great opportunity, San Antonio had the first kick return for a touchdown of the XFL season. It is former Bronco downtown Fred Brown taking it uptown or midtown, across town, all the way to Old Town for the 96-yard TD return. It's April, and I'm still being reminded about how terribly coached the Broncos special teams was. Now, our friend Ben Curtin, his full start for the Brahmas, fell victim to another pass interference call, negating an absolute dime. He dropped that should have been a 44-yard touchdown tud. That did set up Kurt's first XFL touchdown pass, a nice little corner shot to Fred Brown. Again, Ben Kurt noted on Twitter that he would be looking for Kevlar to play in next week after getting absolutely blasted in the chest on this throw. Kurt left the game for a series, but returned like the long-locked hero he is. Unfortunately, today we learned Kurt fractured 3 ribs, which sucks on multiple levels for our favorite XFL QB. If it's any consolation prize, and I know it is not, Kurt gets my Iron Cock Award for playing for nearly an entire game with broken-ass ribs. I don't think I could run a mile after eating a McRib, let alone play through that type of pain. Defenders versus Guardians in the game of the week. Is Quinten Dormady the greatest football player on earth? Well, last week the Defenders moved to 6-0 and cemented themselves as the best team in the XFL. The Guardians are the worst team, had been the worst team, and seemed doomed to be the worst team with 0 wins to their name on the season. Enter Quinten Dormady, who took all of those false accusations about giving away plays to the opposing team and turned them in for a 6 total touchdown performance. He is this week's best individual performer and murderer of DC democracy. Now, Lucky Jackson started right where he left off last week, getting lucky and scoring on this 32-yarder. The Guardians answered with the touchdown drive, aided by a roughing the passer call and a quick Dormady rushing TD from the 1 that happened so fast the broadcast basically missed it. Then we were treated to the best shootout of the season, the kind of exciting football that I am sure made The Rock, the highest paid actor on earth, wish he was simply playing ball with the fellas instead of saving San Andreas from the Fast Five. Dormady fires this bomb. No. Missile. No, torpedo. No, whatever. He fired this pass to KD Cannon. Oh, how did I miss that? He fired the cannon! The Guardians failed to convert all but one of their point after attempts, which is my one beef with the XFL rules. I hate that teams can't kick extra points. I don't find watching 1, 2, and 3 point plays from the 2, 5, and 10 yard line that interesting. And this was a game where the Guardians could have lost because of their inability to convert point after attempts. A team that scores 6 TDs should not be punished, in my opinion. The Defenders, though, played all of their hits. Abram Smith, running back, went off for a $127 and averaged over 7 yards per carry. D'Eriq King gashed the Guardians, which led him to firing the best pass of the week. I have no idea how he drops this in the bucket to Briley Moore in the back of the end zone. Also, the best announcer reaction of the weekend.
No way! You cannot be serious!
Abram Smith, check. D'Eriq King, check. Jordan Teyamu, check. Put up an amazing passing day, giving him back-to-back weeks on that beat, tossing 3 touchdowns himself, no picks, 285 through the air, and going 21-29. The Defenders, because they converted most of their PATs, only needed 5 total touchdowns to the Guardians' 6 to keep this game within a point. The Guardians took the lead with my best catch, Jordan Thomas, going up high and giving this defender, well, the least satisfying reach around he's had since he dated old Christy Broken Glass and Sandpaper Hands McGee. Oh. DC punches back though with the horrifying 86-yard rip from receiver Chris Blair Witch Project. 7 total receiving touchdowns in this game, and Blair was the only one to go over 100 yards receiving with the $136. Dormady put his third QB sneak into the end zone, making him the XFL's Tom Brady. Oh my god, yes, a master of the QB sneak while also being accused of cheating? 2 on the nose, I know. Teamu led a clutch drive in the 4th, firing another touchdown to Lucky Jackson to give the defenders a 5-point lead after converting the 2-pointer. And then it happened. The best. Dormady put the cherry on top of this stellar ice cream Saturday. He finds Cody Latimer for what turned into the game winner. C-Lats, another former highly drafted player by the Broncos, grown man's his way into the end zone. That happened with 9 minutes left in the game. Plenty of time for a comeback, right? Wrong. This ended with the worst use of turnovers to close out a game, as both teams just kept giving the ball back to one another until DC had to attempt a 63-yard field goal. A great kick that was just shy of the gooch. The Guardians, now at 1-6, can still make the playoffs. Roughnecks fall to the Battlehawks. Worst April Fool's joke? Well, that goes to the St. Louis Battlehawks social media account, who released a fake statement saying the team was moving to Los Angeles, more specifically Inglewood, where the Rams moved back in 2016. And hey, I like a good joke. I'm not a square, but telling St. Louis fans that their team is moving is like tricking Jets fans that they're actually trading for a Hall of Fame QB. It's just cruel at this point. Worst throw? Damn, goes to Houston QB Cole McDonald, who looks like he went to the Matt Schaub School of Throwing late across the field. The Necks were knocking on the door for a touchdown, and McDonald got picked off by Brandon Sebastian to end a promising drive. The replay actually shows a guy wide open to the right, but McDonald made a terrible decision, like everyone who Uber Eats McDonald's at 1 a.m. Brandon Silvers was inactive due to injury, which is why McDonald got the extended play last week and crossing over into this week. Cole had a rough day, completing less than 50% of his passes. He had 8 rushes on the day, but I thought overall the Roughnecks did a poor job tooling the game to his strengths, which is running the ball. Just 25 carries total for Houston, even though every ball carrier averaged over 5 per carry, all while dropping Cole back 32 times is a recipe to lose. On the other side, AJ McCarron is like a red wine. He gets better with time and is a lot cheaper than scotch. In the face of 3 free rushers, he threw a dime in the corner of the end zone to Gary Jennings, who crashed into the Pedialyte logo. Fitting, because if you're sitting at home watching the XFL on Sunday, chances are you're also probably using Pedialyte to keep you going. McCarron also hit former Cardinal Hakeem the Butler, did it in the library to give St. Louis the lead in the second quarter before finding Butler again on the 2-point conversion. Best goal line stand goes to the Roughnecks, who clung to a single yard at the goal line and turned away the Battlehawks with an absolute stick by Raleigh, Texada, which is geographically a little confusing to me. Ain't nobody getting over that Texada border. Best field goal? Well, this 59-yard bomb that Donnie Hagman blasted through the gooch, setting an NFL record to grow. But congrats, Donnie. You're now the Justin Tucker of this league, so just figure out how to sing opera. Best scoop and score goes to Will Likely, a USFL legend from last year who got Houston back into the game when he took Brian Hill's fumble back to the house. The announcers were actually calling him William Likely, which feels like an intentional move to save me from having to make the same dumb puns every week, because that will likely get old very quickly. Best third down conversion goes to Brian Hill, who caught a little dump off on 3rd and 14 and managed to pick up the first down, which I think was one of the most crucial plays of this game. That set up a third TD pass for A.J. McCarron, this time to Darius Shepard, essentially icing the game and moving St. Louis to 5-2 on the season. Thanks for watching week 7 of the XFL recap. If you've missed any of the weeks so far, I've done them all. If you're looking for college football info, check out the QB episode we dropped on Saturday.